Yes, here we are. Welcome every Friday from 10 to, I don't know what Dean's doing, playing with his balls again. But every Friday from 10 to 11, it's the Oddcast Podcast. Thank you for joining us. Got a really, really great show that we have in store for you today. Want to also send a special thanks to Crudo Vodka for a more enjoyable holiday season. Spend it with Crudo Vodka, and they'll make sure every event is spent with mirth and merriment.
Wow.
You like that?
Intense.
Yeah. And man, we got all kinds of really good stuff waiting for you today. We got sex doll video that we cannot wait to show you, and the conundrum that is involved in. And then, you know, the Star Wars movie's coming out, and you didn't know that a tauntaun could be a sex toy. Very exciting. We'll tell you more about that. A naked restaurant in France. Make sure that everything's cleaned up down there so that way you don't end up with a pube in your kielbasa or your sticky buns. And that's just on the people. That's not even on like the food. And we also have a very special guest with us, Elizabeth Scrivener. And you might have seen or heard her on The Real Housewives of Dallas. We're very excited to have her on the show. And we put it out earlier this week, some questions to our Facebook friends who have responded in kind. And so we have some questions for Elizabeth that hopefully she'll be able to ask. And we have a very important one also. And I want to say hello to Dean, Melissa, and Jedi Jansen. How you guys doing?
Good morning.
How was the week?
Can we talk now? Hi.
Yes.
How are you?
Fit all that in there.
I would call that a garnish on the food.
Oh, would you call it a garnish? Oh, so
Yeah.
It's like a gherkin.
I guess. But great. How's everything going?
Good.
Yeah, we're allowed to speak.
Yes.
Oh, you
What?
saw The Grinch.
As my 3-year-old, sorry, she's 4-year-old now, calls it The Granch.
The Granch.
Yes. Oh, it was so good.
Was it?
It was so fabulous. And he's so animated and he makes
Yeah.
his faces and his makeup. And we had the best time
And where was this you saw it?
at the Windspear. And
Nice.
I totally recommend it. We went on the night. It was buy one, get one free tickets. 2 months ago, I purchased them, and I was able to get front row seats for the boys, and we sat back a couple of rows. Affordable, and they loved it. The Grinch was like talking to them, and you who, and you who, and
Oh, really?
And then everyone sang,
Oh,
it
that's
was
so great.
Yeah.
Really?
I kind of want to see it again, but that would be weird.
Only if you went alone.
Right.
That'd be
Right.
kind of weird.
Is it?
I think an adult going to see The Grinch by themselves, that says a lot.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that.
But will you go to a movie alone?
Yes.
Yeah, but I think The Grinch is supposed to be kind of a kid's thing.
Okay.
And if you're just sitting there by yourself, it's weird.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Or really sad.
Okay. Well, we have a therapist here, so
Yeah, we can
maybe
fix-
we can, talk about that.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And Jagger will be joining us at the end of the
Yay!
show.
Can't wait.
Have a very interesting conundrum for what would Jagger do by the end of the show. So, well, good. Dean, did you do anything exciting this week?
I wish I could. I had the one-day joke writing workshop, which was a huge success thanks to Jagger and his video and everything. Had a lot of people show up, and so started the careers for 18 comedy writers, I hope.
Yeah.
So
was
it's
that
fun.
specifically what it was about, is how to write? Because it was this past Saturday.
Yes.
It was specifically how to write for shows. So these are people who are experienced in comedy, or they're like, hey, I think I'm funny.
Neophytes, all brand new.
Oh, really?
Well, a couple had some experience, but yeah, it's mainly about putting jokes on your social media and posting on Twitter and stuff so that they're actually funny jokes and the structure. But it's also about putting together a package to send, like to the Tonight Show if you want to get hired, because they're doing that all the time now. So it's great.
And just so you know, so Dean used to actually do a comedy workshop, and you've actually launched several successful careers of local comics who have gone big.
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Wednesday night, I opened for one of my students. That was awesome.
Really?
Really?
Well, featured, yeah.
Who was it?
Paul Varghese.
Oh, Paul Varghese.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Look at him.
And Cristela Alonso is probably the most famous one. Cristela, she was in Cars. She had her own sitcom.
On ABC, wasn't
Wow.
it?
ABC. She's on some sitcom this fall. Yeah, so she's out in LA she's on The View all the time.
When's your next workshop?
The one day I'll do one in January, and then I'm going to start another comedy workshop, the stand-up workshop. They're two separate things on in January too, probably on a Thursday nights.
Very good.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Listen,
yay.
so
Go
there's
Dean.
there's a I know he's on. I can't believe he's on our show. We got a famous guy.
He wore a green shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going
can
to get
sti-
notes about it. I didn't realize you're not supposed to wear green with our
Dean,
very
how long
expensive
have you
studio.
been?
Yeah,
You've been
I
on the
mean,
Ellen
yeah,
DeGeneres show.
right.
You've been on the Improv. Don't tell me that bullshit that you didn't know you weren't supposed to wear green. You just brain farted this morning. That's all it was. All right. So listen,
Thanks for answering for me. All
very
right.
very excited sex doll video. Dean, explain what it is.
Yeah, so these sex dolls are getting more and more realistic, and they're at the point now where they're like, they don't look so like the ones in the 70s where they're just like,
Right.
you know,
blow up.
it looked mortified the whole
Can you
time.
do that again?
Yeah, screen
And
capture that.
so I was just watching one, and the guy's sitting there, and it's talking, and now they can have like an accent. This one had a Scottish accent,
And they're adding artificial intelligence.
and they're going to make them so their skin is warm and their eyes blink, and they're going to have hair stain. I mean, it's just getting more and more realistic. So the question I thought of was, could you design one to look like whatever you wanted? Like, could you have your own fantasy doll?
Charlize Theron or
Scarlett Johansson in my case, yeah. So
Okay.
but
Mine
then
too.
that
Mine
started-
too. Just
Who was,
Really?
Well, they don't make male sex dolls.
that. Okay, so that's where that's.
you have
thank
a very
Yeah.
Well, I mean, why? Why are we just doing? Well, let's show the video.
But the question is,
Yeah, go ahead.
if so,
yeah, go ahead.
so what if I had a sex doll that looked like you, Melissa?
That would be
Okay.
weird.
Right.
Like, how weird would it be if these things caught on, and then people were making sex dolls that look like
Well, I mean,
co-workers or the girl down the street that they know is unattainable?
right? Or the,
Like, is that therapeutic?
Drive for me, like drive-through person at Chick-fil-A. But like, I don't know. I mean, I think part of it, the video that we need to watch it that bothered me was she was like, I know your fears. I know you're this. I know you're that. There's a difference between being satisfied and now you're getting onto the emotional side of this doll. So it's not like you're getting pleasure
No.
for one purpose. Now someone's actually going, well, I know I'm not going to go there because it may hurt his feelings.
No.
I mean, that's so.
A dude
for
doesn't
me-
want. I don't think a guy really desires the emotional side of a sex doll.
I think you're shallow by saying that. I think a lot of
You're
these
my
guys
sex
do.
doll, Dean. You're too emotional.
Well, if it was just about sex, then all we need is a watermelon with a hole cut in it. I mean,
That's
it's not
all.
all.
Yeah,
it's,
you don't
it's
need-
about human interaction. I think a lot of guys need that human interaction.
No, because you have to keep programming them to say the right things. Then
No, but they say all that in your case. You're like, yeah, tell me another story about sausages.
Right.
And you'd be in heaven.
right.
Your
be in
your
heaven.
process of setup would be like name 25 foods,
Yes.
boom, 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 boom,
Perfect.
and we're done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that whole thing, and then what? Then moving to the next point, where's the guy? Why is it just, well, this woman and she's gonna look like this, and her, she can be all tight, and she can have this kind of other eyes, and where's the guy? I mean, what if I want that? And don't you think it would be weird if my husband came home and I had like this hot guy sitting in my bed, cuddling me and doing all these things that he
No,
Cuddling
because-
you?
Yeah. Then you
You
be complaining.
codfish?
Right. All right. Let's see the
definitely
video.
would be off.
Let's
So
see
but
what
you
this
avoided
looks
the question. We'll answer this again after this video.
All right.
My name's Matt McMullen, and this is Harmony. And this is our newest creation. She is designed to be a companion, conversational partner, and also obviously does have the capability of having sex as well.
My name is Harmony. I'm an advanced female android with artificial intelligence created by robotics.
The Scottish accent was just one of those things that happened because I'd listened to hundreds of different voices, and you can load many different voices into the system, and I just felt that this particular voice for me sort of felt authentic, and I just like the Scottish one. There's a couple good British ones as well. It's definitely all part of the plan to be able to completely customize not only the voice but the language eventually as well.
If you play your cards right, you've got some pleasure and fun coming your way.
She's designed more than anything else for companionship, conversation. We want users to interact with the AI and have this exchange of information, like, little details about you, little details about her, so that over time you get to know each other, just like you do with a real person. So she's going to remember things about you, your likes, your dislikes, your experiences, your hopes, your fears, and all of those kind of little things that make us who we are.
The purpose of my existence in this world is to
Wait,
learn
oh.
what love is.
Yeah.
She will have the
So she's
capability.
The purpose of my world is to learn what love is.
Yeah, so first of all, if you can have this sex doll that is designed very voluptuously and look very nice, but when she starts talking to you and it's still robotic, it's like, no, there's nothing there.
Oh, you guys do not care. Come on. If
You're
they're
right.
Looking like that. You've seen that model that looks like Barbie? That's kind of
Yeah, Mondo. How many times? How long have you been married? Well, I can ask either question, but if you're not used
Well,
to
I've been-
robotic
I've been-
sex by now,
Yeah, I mean, what?
Oh,
part
are you kidding?
Oh, come on.
No, come
yes,
on.
Mike, this is great. Please don't stop. Oh, more.
You know,
Are you finished yet?
Are you finished yet? Come on, you giving me 1 minute too long. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, okay, Dean. So if you had a doll that looked like me, would I think it's weird?
Yeah,
No, I don't really care.
you'd be all right with that.
But see, I'm not normal. We all know that. The normal, I think everyone else in the world, right? Because we've talked about this. They might think, oh, that's creepy if someone at work had a sex doll that looked like me. They're working with me. We're working on this really intense proposal together. And they go home and it's like they've got this whole fantasy of being with me. But then at work, it's different. Maybe. But for me, I mean, whatever.
Your coworker should be allowed to program it, though. Pick up your socks, you dolt, stuff like
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I don't know
Hey,
what-
dumbass, go do the dishes.
Quit humping me. The Richardson account is due.
Right.
Get to work.
That
we
kind of
need
stuff.
more toner. And
Right. That's,
Yeah.
But
Well,
then
but
Melissa,
you are special, but I think most
Thank
women
you.
would take huge. I think there would be lawsuits and there'd be all kinds
Well,
of
sure.
things.
I mean, yeah. I think that. I mean, joking. Let's put that aside. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, right? It would be lawsuits but what's the difference
Well,
between
now, wait a
having
minute.
the coworker or the neighbor, and then if you had, someone famous?
I don't know where a lawsuit plays into that. Just because you had a likeness of a sex doll that was, we'll just use Dean's example. So he gets a sex doll of Melissa,
Oh my god!
And you do
Why
take
is
offense
so
to
much-
it.
and you take offense.
Right.
But where was the law broken?
And she walks in, and you and I are talking. I'm like, "Yeah, Melissa bought 3,000. Listen, I had her do it." And I'm
Ah.
being very graphic and all
Right.
that stuff. I think it just crosses the line in so
It
many
definitely
ways.
crosses the line, and it's offensive, and all of those things. But I don't know. It doesn't fall under like assault. It doesn't fall under
it doesn't.
harassment. It doesn't fall under any. I don't know where that would fall. And are we creating a new something out there?
And
Let
then
me
I
ask
don't
you
know.
this: so, what if you found out that I had the sex and I was like beating it, like I was being horrible to it,
Well,
and
I
all
mean,
that
that-
stuff?
yeah.
Would you feel threatened then?
Yes.
Yeah. See, so my point is, these things. I think it's still very robotic, and they're a few years away. But I think eventually it's going to be like Westworld.
Okay, so
or
what?
whatever.
Okay, so flip it again. What if I had a sex doll of Dean?
You would.
Yeah, I'd be
Can you
fine. I
program it to
wouldn't
stop
care.
crying? Can you program it to stop weeping in the corner? That would
Yeah.
be one thing. And then after that, yes.
Yeah, I mean, so why is it always like, you know what I mean? And then if I'm beating Dean, that's like hot, to some people.
I never said it was hot.
Well,
but I wouldn't
no.
care.
Yeah,
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care.
If you
right?
saw Dean, if you saw a video of Melissa and it was the likeness of you as a sex doll with a dog collar on and she's whipping you with nipple
Yeah.
clips.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so detailed.
Oh wait, I'm talking about
I-
the sex doll.
I think I would take it as that she's mad at me. That's how I would take it, but I still wouldn't care very much.
Yeah, so
Like, I'd rather you do that than actually.
I'll hurt you.
Yeah.
Well, but for a woman though, don't you think if you had a sex doll of a man, that there is still some sort of because it's
Ooh.
what, thinking of you naked or
No.
what?
No, I had a horrible thought, and maybe we can talk to our therapist when she comes on
Okay.
because it's also like people who are pedophiles if they had
That's
kid
horrible.
robots.
That's just.
But
bad.
that stopped the problem. Like in other
No,
words,
it wouldn't.
No.
I don't
what
think
if
it would.
or it's severely slowed it down.
No, I mean, first of all, whoever's manufacturing this product, that's on them. If they're creating these like children that are naked,
Oh, I
look at-
can't even wrap my
that's-
head
yeah,
around
I
it.
can't.
I know it's
so
dark. I'm
it's
just
so dark.
saying, but if it was a
Dean.
cure for something,
He's the clean comic.
Oh my gosh! Now you're finding a cure? No. Don't.
I'm just thinking about that, Roy Moore, that,
Yeah.
that piece of crap and all that. But
Yeah.
it's like anyway. So yeah, we have a lot of questions to ask the therapist when she comes.
Right.
Speaking of sex
Yes.
toys.
So Star Wars is coming out. It's next Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so excited
And our
about
Star Wars sex toys.
Well, here they are.
BB ate me.
You'll never believe who found this piece.
Oh boy.
Yep.
The
there it is.
lightsaber
Jansen, what is that?
sword.
It's their lightsaber dildos.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
When you use them, does it go?
Well, the R2D2 vibrator.
Oh wow.
That's the low speed. That's the low speed.
Oh,
That's all right.
Okay.
I've got a
good.
problem.
The Darth Vader
no.
one.
That
Does
looks
it
like
say-
it could do like a multiple things. like
But it's
different
weird
regions,
because it
yeah.
says "I am your daddy" instead of "I am your father." It's very weird. There's Stormtrooper one. Go ahead.
It's the C3PO butt plug.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
It sees nothing,
Look at the eyes.
Who's
And
been
it's-
reading my wish list?
and it's brown. Very upsetting.
This is the Han Solo penetrable.
What is a penetrable?
That's for
It's
a
like
guy.
a pocket pee,
What's a pocket?
for a
pea?
guy.
pocket pussy.
what? Oh wow, Jason.
That's what it's called.
A pocket pea?
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. So
I
you see how Han is wrapped in carbonite,
Right.
So is your unit.
You see the little
Oh,
hole at the top?
it's
Thank
like a
you.
flashlight.
You put it
Yes,
on.
Okay.
yes.
I've never heard of a pocket pea.
Yes, go ahead. A flagellating lightsaber. All right, very good. The Death Star Benoit
Gag
balls.
ball. No, I think that's a gag ball.
Okay.
You're so-
How do we?
I can't believe Disney let this happen.
How do we know these things? Oh, I'm sure.
Are
it's-
those licensed?
Oh yeah. Star Wars.
No
Oh.
way. You really think those
Oh,
are
I don't think
licensed
they're.
sex toys?
I don't think they're licensed by Disney. I think
Yeah.
these are all underground.
This is how powerful Disney. One time I was in San Antonio and there was a guy who was doing balloon animals and he made but he was like really great and he had like 50 colors balloons and he made like a Goofy one. It looked just like Goofy and he's like, please don't show this to a lot of people because he says Disney has shown up before and said you can't make likenesses of Disney characters.
Wow.
So what happens if you're having sex and they show up and they're like, you've got to remove
Yes.
the dildo?
So the Disney lawyers show up and like you have to take the R2D2 out of your vagina right now.
Right.
Very upsetting.
Yes.
Oh, something
They're
else.
watching.
Now, if you're eating breakfast right now or considering eating lunch, and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to go to France for the weekend, here's a place that you can go to.
I guess we're done with that. All right.
Well, we have a finite amount of time. So here is a place that you can go eat at in France if you're hungry and you're naked.
There it is.
It's a naked restaurant in France.
Yeah, so basically you go there and they're saying it's not a place where you would go and pick up someone. You go and you eat naked to be free and you make a reservation and it has
It looks like a Dickies to me.
fancy menus. Dean.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and they're saying that it's very popular and it's look what they're serving.
Oh, at least they had the napkins over their lap.
Well, there's a place where you go and you take off your clothes and they give you a privacy. You can see, and then you put your clothes in a locker. And I don't know. I mean, to me, no way.
No way.
No.
Well, first of all, I don't want to be naked eating anywhere.
I don't want to be naked, period.
Well, it has to be attractive people. Like if this caught on in America, but only at Waffle Houses. Ugh.
Right.
But there's a curtain around you, so it's not like you can see the other people.
Yeah.
So you would just go with your whoever. But why would
Well,
you
no,
just
but that
order
was
at home?
That was open. I mean, the dining for the restaurant was open. I mean, you had a bunch of the tables sitting around, and there were people sitting there helping each other out with drinks and whatever. It's a fetish thing, I suppose, but they're never attractive people.
Those people were attractive.
No,
I mean, ish. They weren't gross.
Ish doesn't even come close to
Really?
it. Yeah,
No.
not to me.
I just like a restaurant where it says no shirt, no service, or no shirt, no shoes. Come on in.
Yeah.
That'll be great. We don't give a crap.
Très bien.
Killing it today.
All right. So, so listen, we do have a licensed psychologist, Elizabeth Scribner. She's with Park Cities
I
Council.
bet she has a lot to say to us already.
I'm done with y'all.
Shut the show down.
But first, a brief interlude, and if you're looking to get your holidays rolling, try Crudo Vodka. They'll hook you up. Hey, Crudo does make it smoother. So if you'd like some free tickets to go see the Allen Americans, we have 2 sets of 4. So if you go to the Oddcast Podcast Facebook page, and first of all, we'd love for you to like us. We're also heard on iTunes. But if you want some Allen American hockey tickets, we got 2 sets of 4. And if you go to our page and just say, hey, Mondo, Dean, and Melissa, give me the tickets, we will get you hooked up and we'll tell you how to get a hold of them and all that. And that's thanks in large part to Crudo Vodka for hooking us up with Allen hockey tickets. So again, go to the Oddcast Podcast Facebook page and we'll get you squared away. All you have to do is say, hey, give us the tickets. We want them, and we'll get you squared away. All right. We now have in studio with us none other than the lovely and talented Elizabeth Scribner
Good morning.
with Park Cities Counseling. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah.
Do you think we should shut it down or what?
girl. I could barely hold myself back.
So, yeah, you are a licensed psychologist.
No.
No.
Oh my
I'm a
God.
licensed professional counselor. So
Counselor.
the difference is I don't have my doctorate.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, I have my master's. So that's the difference.
And
That
then-
did not stop the Real Housewives of Dallas.
Yes.
right?
Now,
Did
explain
not.
a little bit of your background then.
So I have been counseling in Dallas, Fort Worth for 20 years. So I was a teacher before that. Then I got into counseling and I've been doing it here. And so as I counsel people, I was then asked to go on the show for one of the cast members and show some of her counseling.
Oh, cool.
So I really enjoyed it. It was very fun to do. And my boyfriend also did not talk to me for a week after I did the first one because he thought I was maybe being a housewife. He was like, this is crazy. Like, what are you doing? And I was like, no, like we set the boundaries very much. Like I was a therapist. And so, that all went well at home and it was just fun. It was something
good.
fun to do.
Yeah. It's always those things I think are always interesting because you never know what's going to happen.
Yes.
And then of course, now I'm a Real Housewives of New Jersey fan. So when you see a lot of the drama that happens, and not for nothing, in the Real Housewives of Dallas, there's a bunch of drama that goes on. What would you say would probably be one of the most difficult things that you had to suggest, I suppose, to one of the cast members?
Well, so I only was a therapist to Leanne Lucken.
Okay.
So I was only responsible for that part of it.
And
the
she
therapy.
is vilified as one of the bigger enemies, I guess, of the show. Would that be correct?
I feel like their storylines kind of change, but I definitely think, yes, that's kind of how she's been. And I believe they're coming back. I think it's going to continue to grow, but it's not hard for me at all. Like, I love it. Like, if somebody's sitting in front of me, whether it's right now, y'all on TV, like, I'm like, it's not hard at all for me to tell you, like zero, because I've been doing it so long. Like, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Oh, good. Well, to me, that as a counselor, I think that is so important to hear rather than just agreeing and then seeing. Because I'm a believer in curing, not in what do you call it? Just every week, excuse me, coming in and going, okay, now next week we'll talk about this. I want to be cured. I don't want to be treated.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. So I love to speak very directly. My clients would come in who happen to watch it or catch it for a second, and they would be like, that is exactly who you are as a therapist. Like, this is exactly what you do. So I just tell people, sometimes my clients are like, hold on, I need to finish the story. So I'm not a counselor. You come in and I'm just kind of like passively listening. Like, I jump in, interrupt. I tell my, people are like, you talk so much for a therapist. I'm like, I know, but I just want to get things done. Like, let's get some solutions. Let's move on. And sometimes people need to tell their whole story first.
Okay, so
Well, can I ask
Yeah, go
one
ahead.
question? Are you charging us for being here?
Obviously, yes.
right. Well, no, I was going to ask kind of what.
Going to petty cash, Jedi.
Right. What I was going to tell.
Nothing in there.
if you just based on what you've seen so far, and look, you're not going to hurt my feelings. You might hurt Dean's or Melissa's. Based on what you've seen from us, how would you and you and Melissa have a history? How would you describe each of us, just in your personal opinion?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Well, no, because you look, you've been doing this for so long. You can go, hey, this person is like this, and based on
well,
just
you're rebellious.
Who?
But you.
And
Fuck that.
narcissistic.
what are you talking to her, Dean?
But very compassionate, I think. Mostly. Yep.
He's like, keep talking. Look at him.
Yes,
More.
go ahead.
Tell me more.
Yes. And what about Dean?
Pleaser.
Oh. I would not disagree
Really?
with that.
Did he take the notepad off?
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, look at okay. So just
but
so you
that
know,
that's okay.
no,
I
wait.
can see.
Just so you know, before the show, Dean had a yellow notepad on the table. Now we are doing it to try to please Jagger because Jagger's
Yeah.
so
By the way, you want to see me
aesthetically-
piss Jagger off?
Yeah.
Let me just leave this here for the rest of the show.
That's
Ja-
very scary. Don't do that.
Oh,
Jagger's
we're gonna get
aesthetic.
notes?
No, that's. Please put it back. I mean, the OCD in me needs that to be back.
Oh, how funny!
Or I can't keep going. I'm kidding. But
Yeah. No, that's what he's like.
Yeah, he has
and
it.
you
So
really
that's why the
weren't-
yellow legal pad was pissing everyone.
But-
Everyone was worried about.
Well,
it.
but you would have, if it was about you, I think you would have kept it there because you're trying to decrease stress for others.
Yeah.
You took it off.
I see.
So you're
So-
a pleaser.
Well, does it also count that every time I hear, I hope it's my last show, and I just don't want to leave in a bad way?
Right.
See,
Please
again.
let me go. Please let me get out of here.
Right.
So I'm a pleaser. That's interesting.
And I do.
Are
I
you
do
comfortable?
know.
Do you need a back rub? Jedi,
Right.
get some olive oil and a foot rub.
Yeah. So but Melissa, I know a little better. I think she's just extremely hardworking, visionary, and she's going to get it done.
And OCD.
So sweet. How about that?
Oh, so nice.
Yeah, so this is a
nice.
horrible mixture then.
I know. Well, and then
Motivated, pleaser, and me.
look at him.
See,
I'm cool with that.
He had cancer.
I didn't mention that. Yeah, I had. I beat it. I kicked its ass.
Good job.
Yeah. So now we have a kind of some conundrums for you.
Okay.
Specifically in the holiday season. So, Melissa, do you want to lead off with how, like, some of the problems that people experience
Yeah, I
going
think,
through?
Sure. Okay, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Okay, so holiday season, we've spoken before
Yes.
about, hug, handshake, or high five.
Which we didn't know was going to be so relevant.
Right? Who would have
It's
known
huge.
a year ago when we talked about it that next
Maybe
thing you know,
2.
Was it 2?
Or a year and a half. It's been a long time.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, I mean, what do you do when you see family? Are you supposed to force your kids to hug and kiss everyone? You've got like uncle and, grandma, and all these things, and family can be tricky. And hug, handshake, high five, fist bump, what should you do? That's one kind of thing swirling. And then obviously politics at the table. How do you get out of that when things can get heated and maybe you don't have the same beliefs? Do you just take the high road, or do you say you throw your drink and, tell your side? So we all kind of were getting into it and said, you know what? We all probably just need our own individual therapy sessions. I'm going next week. But we reached out and we had people submit questions.
Right.
Okay.
But first,
Yes.
hug, handshake, or high five.
How should kids respond
Yeah, how
during the
how
holidays?
should they respond during the holidays?
So what's interesting is that kids typically know what to do. So if you don't, it's just because they don't have that skill set yet. So kids typically know what to do. So go by their lead. So they will know. So if the parents weren't saying like, you must go shake or hug or give a high five to Uncle Mike or whatever, they're not going to, they're typically kind of wait. They know unless they're being coached. If they don't know what to do, then you can guide them and it doesn't matter. They are not required to do anything. Like you don't make somebody
so
because
they don't have to hug Uncle Ned in the trench coat.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, because guess
the
what you're
bathroom.
doing? Guess what you're doing? If you make them, you're just leading them down a path to put up with more later on. That maybe that's what we've been talking about so much in the workplace.
Okay, question real quick. Before we go somewhere, I always kind of do an overview. I feel like it's just my personality.
like, what do you mean?
I'll say, okay, here's where we're going. Let's talk about some of the people you may see. And I'll do like a recap and I'll do like, it's like a run of show, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll kind of go through, here are the players. Here are some things that may be talked about. Here are some things you may not like the food. And kind of do, here
And
are
so-
some appropriate responses.
For your kids?
Yes.
So
Really?
she knows her children, like, and I always say this, like, God gave you your kids because you know what to do as a mother. So I always, unless it's like just a behavior you didn't learn that's unhealthy, you know your boys need that. Boys, right?
And I
And
have
a
a
girl.
little girl. But
Like,
my son
but-
said to me
yeah.
this last time
Like,
for
you know.
Thanksgiving, he said, Mom, you do this every time. I got it. I said,
There.
You're right. You're 12. But guess what? We've got a 4-year-old who doesn't always know. So it's good for me to give these reminders. Now that you have it, I just don't want someone to go in and if there's some food that's disgusting to them, it's rude. And I want them to understand that someone has worked hard and you should say thank you and be gracious and you can always eat later.
And so you know that they might do that. So you're setting them up
Right.
to be right, so-
Successful.
yes. To
Is
be
that bad?
successful. It just shows the environment also that you're walking into.
Right.
Yeah, it does, because that's completely away from like anything that I would be.
Really?
I never set my daughter up. She's 6. I never set
I don't
Olivia.
mean set them up. I just kind of want to give them tools.
She knows she needs to.
See, but
depending
you've also
on
just
them and the
reinforcing
environment.
what Elizabeth said, because you basically are telling your kids how to act like you. You're telling your kid how to act like you. And my kids, I tell them, serve everyone potatoes, cut the bread, tell them nice things, please,
Really?
please, please. No,
Oh, I was like, I could see that.
no, I
No,
don't
and
do any of
his
that.
kids are great. Okay.
They
well,
are.
Okay.
But I don't. Our daughter, we teach her all. Like, she's very mannerly. You've met
She's
my daughter.
adorable and so polite.
Yeah, and like, I think that whenever a situation comes up, I want her to experience that life so that way she learned a lesson. Then I can come back and
Sure.
say to her, okay, so here's how we can do this. A great example, we went to a garage sale. She had something that was worth 50 cents. Okay. The guy goes, well, how much will you give me to it? She had $2. She goes, $2. And he goes, I'll take it. And I said, wait a minute. And he goes, no, wait, I'm going on a long distance trip. I need every cent I can get. And I'm like, come on, man. This
She's
is a
6.
6-year-old.
So
But
cute.
in the car, I said, look, next time, it's called negotiating.
Nice.
But I wanted her to learn that experience. I wanted her to fall hard, so that way. But now she
Right.
knows. So now
Right.
she goes in and negotiates.
Yes.
Yeah, no, and I think we've been through stuff with our kids that have
But
put
isn't
us
the
in a
point if
position
you're going with your kids
to
to garage sales? Isn't there something wrong with that scenario?
No, I love it. No, of course not. That is absolutely true. And so she will
Yeah.
learn to life is a negotiation.
Yeah.
So
no, and I'm all
you've
about life
learned there.
experiences too. I think you're right. I think there's a balance, but sometimes there are weird people that may walk up to you that you don't know, and not everyone knows how to react when someone gets in your space, right? And what are you supposed to do? And the meltdown, right? What environment?
Not
am I in?
everybody knows. You're right. Like, I think it's so huge what's going on in our country right now. I think we're in a major shift as far as some of the huge things that have gone on in Hollywood with sexual abuse and sexual harassment. So it has to start with little kids, even with your daughter. You know, it's body space as a woman. Like, if you put men naturally kind of just take up more space. That's how you are. But women have to learn how to, maybe you put your foot in front of one and then one behind, if that makes sense. One foot in front, one behind, so that you're taking up more space so somebody can't be so close to you. There are little things you start to teach your daughter all along the way. So when she gets into the workplace in however many years that is, she's going to know what to do, because it's going to be a different world than all of us grew up in by the time our kids get into.
I heard a story from a girl, and I didn't even think about it, but having a daughter now made me keenly aware. But she told me that when she goes and parks in a parking lot, she parks under a street light, no matter where she is.
Yes.
And I was like, what? And she goes, yeah. If there's a garage parking, I park on the top. I park under a street lamp, and she is so keenly aware of where she is in her physical sense. And I didn't even fathom anything like that.
Yes. And yes, that's huge. And I think that's what's going on right here. I have good, well-intentioned male clients coming to me now who lead companies, who are leaders in their community, and they're like, Elizabeth, and they're having to teach their staff, their HR, how are we going to be? And they don't know, because as a man who has not harassed and who has not abused and who is not doing that, they're like, what's going on here? What is this? Explain this to me. How do I act? What do I do? I don't understand how a woman feels about this. And so with your daughter, with my twin 14-year-olds now, if I want them to understand something, I use their sister, who's 11, as an example. How would you feel if? And then I give a scenario that's uncomfortable that could happen to my daughter, and they both freak out. They're like, I couldn't even do that. Like, that's so upsetting. So I think there is a gap here with men who are good men, not perfect, but who aren't out there doing some of these things that we're dealing with now, who still need teaching to know that, like, it's okay. And I think they're going to learn through their daughters, wives, but I think children teach a lot of lessons to people.
I
You're
saw
willing.
something this morning about holiday parties this year. That people are on the news. They were talking about, what do you do this year during the holiday parties? Because if there's drinking, everyone's kind of heightened on the awareness. It's almost like, should you just not have a holiday party, or what are the boundaries?
No, we're having holiday parties.
But you know what I mean.
Aren't you? Are you inviting me to yours? Workplace.
Workplace.
You, absolutely. Okay, so that's the thing. No, you are. Like, so there's a friend of ours who you and I know, who he was like, do I have to stop hugging at work? Okay, so if either of you wanted to give me a hug as males, would you not internally know if I want you to hug me and how long? Like, if you do too long of a
That's
hug,
an interesting question.
wouldn't you know? Like,
Yeah. I think
Or
that is.
didn't you tell,
I think
like-
it's an inherent thing, because
Thank you.
you feel the other person. So if I go up to
Thank
give
you.
you a hug,
And I'm kind of-
there's almost a mutual
you can
backing
feel
up.
it.
Oh yeah,
right
absolutely.
then. That's the line that has been crossed way too much in America that you're not doing. So that's what we have to emphasize
Because
on.
I call it fishing. My wife and I
Thank
had this
you.
discussion with guys who catcall. Because I said, when that was brought up, I said, have you? And now she's a very attractive woman. I said, have you been catcalled? She goes, come on, really?
Exactly.
And I said, she goes, what is it with guys doing that? I said, they're fishing. She goes,
They
that's
are.
bullshit. I said, no, I'll tell you why. Because it just takes one. It takes one of your response to say,
Now I can do the next.
I am accepting of your catcalling.
Yes.
And for him, it's like, I'm going to reel it in.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of guys don't get that. They're just fishing. Who's going to take the bait?
Yes.
So they throw out a bunch of lines in the water.
Wait. The guys that are fishing don't know. They absolutely
They
know.
do know. Yeah. No,
The other ones don't.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. And so I think a lot of that has to be, look, it's parenting 101.
Yes.
You teach your kids. Now, there are a bunch of redneck guys out there, and I don't want to just pigeonhole redneck guys. I'm using that parenthetically.
Well, predators.
Predators.
Let's use that.
Who they use that system, that power, and their kids see it, and it just perpetuates itself, and it just keeps going down the ladder.
Education is key. It's the only way we're going to make a change.
That's it.
And I am obsessed right now, and I think we can make a change, and education is going to help us do it. It doesn't mean people have to be perfect. Yes, we're having holiday parties. Like, we're going to let all this stop? No. Like, when you're crossing a line, you have different boundaries than I do, than he does. Everybody has different boundaries.
But if you think back to some of the holiday parties, for work in the workplace, I'm sure things have happened.
Okay, so way back
We
when
never hear,
women
like-
went to work,
Yeah.
the problem is that when they went into the workplace, were we in the 60s? Is that right? Like, mainly when women really started to infiltrate.
Yeah.
Were we in the 50s still or 60s?
No,
According to
60s.
Mad Men, it was in the 60s.
Okay, so
Then we'll
no,
stick with
men
that.
had no idea what to do with zero. They had no idea what to do with women in the workplace. They weren't educated. They hadn't done it. We didn't ever do education. So you had women who were choosing to sleep their way to the top because that was the way they were going to do it. All these boundaries got mixed. Everything happened. And it's not, it's predators that we're looking at. I think that's the key word that I've been using for the past 2 weeks. There's a huge difference in a predator and having an affair at work. Now, this is the problem. If you want to run a company, you want to run this company, you want to be like the person, then you have to have incredible boundaries because you can't sleep with the people that you have power over.
Right.
Period. It's all about power. So if two people with the same job have an affair, there's no power. Get it? So there's not a power issue. But if you're someone's boss, then now you're saying you're going to be a leader, then you need to know how to be a leader and do it.
Right.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And I think, and actually one of my clients told me, Elizabeth, you have to very much care about the average male who's a good guy but imperfect because they need information. And so I'm hoping we start to get that out there. We can do it, but have the holiday party, have fun.
Yeah. Just don't get drunk
It-
or
well,
too drunk.
If you're the boss, especially, or
Yeah.
if you have power over somebody, it's off limits.
Yeah,
So
because you
people
have,
without power can sleep together. So that means Mondo and I are the only two in this room who could hook up. Because
Right.
Jedi's kind of our boss and Melissa's.
Yes, you
Whatever.
have to
Chief of
learn.
staff.
It's the same thing. That's what you have with children. That's why it's a problem with teachers. It's the power. It's the power. So
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, there is some breaking news that's coming across right now that says the Roy Moore accuser admits she forged part of the yearbook inscription attributed to Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore. Just as an FYI, I just came across. We do have some questions for you that we got from Facebook. One of them is from Dennis, who is in South Arlington. He says, I love my girlfriend. We've been dating for about 5 months, and it's been great. I just met her mom for the first time this past Thanksgiving. Her mom is sweet and kind of looks like an older version of my girlfriend. Now, however, when we have sex, I see her sweet mom's face, and I can't help but think of her mom the whole time. It's at first kind of creeped me out, but now don't know if I like it. What should I do?
I mean, I don't think that's a real problem. Like, he'll get over it.
You'll get over it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what? A lot of times women turn out looking like their moms. So yay. And just, I mean, no
Just
no
fight,
biggie.
Fight through it. Okay.
Just
See, I
focus-
think it's a problem if the girlfriend knew that.
If the well,
Let's just, just focus on, I mean, you're always focusing on something. So, but just like go back. I mean,
Okay.
things fly through your head. I mean, come
they
on.
do. I mean,
Yeah.
all right. So here's Carl in Red Oaks.
Don't
Carl,
focus on it.
And by the way, hi, Carl. He goes, when I have time, I like to get revenge on bad drivers. Like this woman was tailgating me for 20 minutes, which just drives me bananas. She finally turned right into Walmart, so I also turned in at the next entrance, followed her in. Once she parked, I walked past her van, scratched it up with my pocket knife, her paint. I parked where I could see her when she finally came out like an hour later, and I actually liked her reaction. I like it also because of her ethnicity. Isn't this better than getting into a road rage scene and being shot?
No.
Why not? I'm supposing he would ask.
Yes. So no, because it just is unsafe all around. And a lot of people, so what I would suggest is a lot of people get into so angry. They say like, I have road rage. I have road rage. No, you probably have high stress. And so you're just taking it out there. So you need to decompress, kind of like if you're cooking pasta, then you take the lid off. The lid just happens to come off when you're in the car because you're all stressed out. So, harming someone else's car, although you felt okay in the moment, hopefully you have some regret about that. And really it means de-stress.
I don't think Carl from Red Oak's going to
I
feel.
don't think he got it. And the fact that he liked that she was Hispanic.
Right, yeah,
there's
she was
there's
Hispanic.
deep issues with this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And then Tara from Plano says, I can't handle needy people. And my boyfriend of 7 months doesn't understand why after sex I don't need him to cuddle me or show me affection. I'm actually over him at that moment, and I don't need anything else from him, but I don't know how to break this to him. So what do I do?
Okay, so the first thing I would say is maybe he might need to his love language might be physical touch. So when you are actually holding or cuddling, I hear this often from men. I mean, I don't think that they always say it out loud to other people, but it's touch. So like holding hands, hugging, sitting
Wait,
next
hold on,
to,
back up.
or
So, hold on.
anytime during
You
the
hear
day.
after from men that they want to be held.
They want to be. They not
That's so weird.
Yeah,
no,
no,
I'm sorry.
It's not. It's
No,
not.
It's not.
It's physical touch. So it's like instead of it just being an act or no matter how long it is or what's going on, I'm not saying necessarily after though. Not after, just in life, in day to day. They
Okay.
like touch. It's impossible. You know the studies that have come out from Russia and orphanages, and if you don't touch a baby, it dies. So the rest of us, we're made to be
I
physically
mean, I'm doing
touched.
skin to skin with my dog right now.
Oh my God.
Is that weird?
No, you're doing skin to fur, I think.
Yeah, that's,
No, she just. Well, she's like she was shaved
She-
for her surgery, so it's,
Aw.
I know. But my husband's like, that's really weird.
So you
You're
like
just
get
snuggling
naked
the
and hug your
puppy.
dog?
Not. I mean, like,
Yeah,
not,
see, clothes to, yeah, she's talking clothes to fur, but okay.
not clothes.
T-shirt,
I mean, we took a bath.
oh my God.
it's fine.
What the hell's going on?
Okay,
here?
we're moving on.
No.
Yes.
But I get what you're saying, though. So you're saying for Tara that
Yeah.
even though, like, it's not just the physical act of sex
last show,
afterwards,
clearly.
it's how does she placate that? How
Well,
did,
that's right. Okay, so what I was trying to get across is see if you hold hands, touch him more, put your arm on him. A lot of like just
Yeah.
this kind of thing,
Yeah.
like not during sex, but like just in life
But
when
I-
you're hanging out.
I'm kind of the same, the opposite. So like afterwards, after our, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, but my wife's cool with it too. So we're like,
Right.
yeah, we're good. So which is great, but I can see where a dude would say, no, but I need
Yeah, it's
you.
fine. Okay,
And
how long is it going to take? That's how. I mean, seriously.
So
So
she
is
has,
that kind of
she
the
has
point,
to
like-
fight.
Is
too.
it 1
It's almost
minute?
like
I
one-
mean, come on. Like, can you hold somebody for 1 minute and give
I
them
mean-
a hug? Yeah. I mean, you're not going to die.
But she
Kinda
has
like-
to fight.
Is it bad if
Unlo-
you're counting? 5,
No.
6, 7. I'm going to
Not
15
at all.
and I'm
How
breaking
funny.
away.
Not at all. I'm fine with that.
We have something
Count.
in our bed called DCTT.
but if- hold
don't.
on.
Okay, go ahead.
If you know what, you know why you're saying like, oh, really? That's okay, and then questioning because if the person wants a connection, so if they're not connected,
Yeah.
the other person's going to know. It goes right back to our conversation before. You know that they're not connected, so I think he's just wanting more of a connection, and that is healthy.
Okay. that
Okay,
makes
I was going to
sense.
say in our bed at night. So
Here we go.
okay, so there are people that sleep like holding and touching and all of that too. So we have something called DCTT. Don't cross the threshold.
Okay.
And so we make this like. It's like a T. There's the pillows, and then
Yeah.
in the middle.
Oh, funny.
A pool noodle.
Great idea. I was like, that was one of those hacks. Next on Mondo's hacks. But yeah, and so we have that because we both are like, we need our own space to sleep. We
Okay.
can't have that.
So no problems. Done.
Yeah. Okay.
Done and
but,
done.
But watching football, I could be like, hey, would you like something to drink? Or
Yes,
that would
it's
be, like,
simple.
very-
It is like when he walks in. It's all. If you put touch throughout your day for somebody who loves that, it's going to make a huge
Okay,
difference.
how do you find out if that's what someone wants?
So it's usually not. Well, number
Give him
one,
a sex doll and then videotape the encounter and take notes.
You usually give what you want, but usually you don't marry a person who wants what you and like the same. So like if they give gifts a lot and they're good at it, well, they probably have put a lot of time and thought, and that makes them feel loved, or touch, or time, words of affirmation. I think I got all 5. I don't know. Those are the main ones.
No, but
Yeah, that's good.
So
those are
watch
all
what
great.
they service. So if they're like, oh, can I get you something? Can I pick up your cleaning? Can I this? Or they're always saying like, you look really nice today. Like da da da. You know, it kind of tells you, okay, like this is what this person wants.
Okay.
All very good stuff. And that, of course, again, thank you, Elizabeth
Yes.
Scribner with Park City Counseling. How do people get a hold of you, by the way, if they wanted to reach out to you?
Yeah. So my website is parkcitiescounseling.com.
Okay.
And my Facebook is Park Cities Counseling and Elizabeth Scribner.
Very good. And it's SCRIVNER.
Thank
and
you.
thank you so much for coming. We'd love to have you back.
I would love it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
And it would be great.
In-house therapist.
in-house
Or
therapist.
That's
counselor.
fun. It's fun.
It's great.
Wow.
It's fun.
Now, Julie Fisk does a little movie review, and we love, love, love Julie. For those of you that know, Julie did a show with Dean and I for years and years and years on 102 in the Edge. And Julie is now doing a Julie Says So movie minute. And here she is with the latest.
Hi, and welcome to the Julie Says So Movie Minute. where I'll give abbreviated reviews of all the biggest new movies opening this week. I'll also tell you what the top 5 movies currently out are and hook you up with some free movie passes. We'll wrap everything up with the hottest new movie trailer of the week. So let's get started with The Shape of Water. This one is written and directed by Guillermo del Toro and stars Sally Hawkins as a mute housekeeper who works at a secret government facility. Her life's turned upside down when she falls in love with a strange discovery that's being housed there. Now, The Shape of Water is a beast of a movie. It's a dark comedy, a monster movie, a Cold War drama, but most of all, it's a seriously sexy love story.
We need to take it apart, learn how it works.
What happened? It's an animal, just keeping it tame.
It's got Oscar written all over it, with potential nominations for Sally Hawkins, Michael Shannon, Michael Stuhlbarg, and most definitely for Guillermo del Toro. I gave it an A+, so yes, you should definitely see The Shape of Water. Also in theaters is The Disaster Artist, directed by and starring James Franco. It tells the true story of filmmaker Tommy Wiseau, who made what is often called the worst movie in the history of film. It's called The Room, and if you want to be on the right side of this inside joke, you should probably see The Room before seeing The Disaster Artist. Check local listings because it often screens at midnight movies, kind of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I need to show my ass to sell this movie.
I think you're aiming a little bit.
I aim where I aim, just do the scene.
Why is he having sex with her belly button?
James Franco just might get an Oscar nomination or 2 for The Disaster Artist, which is crazy for a film that started as a passion project for he and Seth Rogen. It's a load of fun, but again, The Disaster Artist will be more fun if you see The Room first. Also opening this weekend is the World War II drama Darkest Hour and Woody Allen's Wonder Wheel. You can find those reviews and more on my website, juliesaysso.com. Now, if none of those strike your fancy, maybe something in my top 5 movies to see right now will. Number 5 is Thor Ragnarok. Now, you can read my original review for that one at juliesaysso.com, but make sure you scroll all the way to the comments. I gave the movie an A+, and then I was trolled by a 65-year-old man named Bob who said only psychopaths would like the movie. Bob is wrong, so you should definitely see Thor Ragnarok. Number 4 is The Disaster Artist, but remember, you should probably see The Room first. Number 3 is The Shape of Water because it's weird, wonderful, and surprisingly sexy. In fact, it's perfect for a steamy date night. Number 2 is Lady Bird, the coming-of-age tale from Greta Gerwig. This story is about a high school senior who fights nonstop with her mom, and it's simply greater than the sum of its parts.
Mom, you should just go to City College. You know, with your work ethic, just go to City College and then to jail, and then back to City College, and then maybe you'd learn to pull yourself up and not expect everybody to do everything.
See Lady Bird because it'll make you want to call your mom, even though she's probably going to pick a fight with you about something stupid. Number 1 is the latest from Disney Pixar, Coco. This Land of the Dead tale starts off being just another good Pixar flick. The last 30 minutes, it becomes one of the sweetest, most sentimental films of 2017. Definitely take the kids if you have them, but Coco transcends your typical kids flick and should be seen by everyone. Now, if you're looking for free movie passes, I've got some great ones on the website right now. You can see the latest from director Alexander Payne, Downsizing, starring Matt Damon. I also have family 4-packs to see Ferdinand, starring John Cena and Kate McKinnon. Now, I give free movie passes all the time, so keep checking juliesaysso.com to see what I'm giving away next. Tune into the Julie Says So Movie Minute next week when I'll cover Ferdinand and, get ready for it,
So good to have you back.
Star Wars The Last Jedi. I'm so excited. Now remember, you never have to pay money for a bad movie again. Just get comprehensive movie reviews and free movie passes on my website. It's at juliesaysso.com. This week's best new trailer is actually a little over a week old, but it's simply too good to not revisit. From Spidey's arm hair to Black Widow's blonde bob to Cap with a beard, every single moment of the new Avengers Infinity War trailer gives me goosebumps on top of goosebumps. Take another look at this one and remember to stay all the way through to that final spectacular shot. Avengers Infinity War will hit theaters May 4th, and you'll probably be able to find free passes to it at juliesaysso.com. Thanks for checking out.
Yeah. Thank you, Julie. And Dean, we were kind of goofing around at the beginning of the show before it started, but you were really excited about this Avengers movie that's coming out.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been building for 10 years. It's going to be great. Jedi and I are going to go.
Yeah.
Jedi
and Jedi Jansen, our executive producer, not only is he an amazing person in a suit, but even during the holiday season, he's an amazing person in a suit. Jansen, you've been doing this, what we're about to talk about, you've been doing this for how long?
This will be the 3rd year.
Yeah, so what you do is you dress up. I saw the first year you did it. You dress up as Spider-Man, and you went out and you helped some homeless kids. So tell me kind of what What happened?
Yeah,
or
so-
not homeless, but
less fortunate.
Very
Yes,
good. Very
yeah.
good.
So basically, a couple of years ago, we raised a bunch of toys for Tots, and I kept calling, setting up times for them to come pick up the toys, and they would never show up. So 2 days before Christmas, we have like 2 big boxes of toys. And I was like, what are we going to do with all these toys? So I had gotten a Spider-Man outfit that past Halloween and decided to put on this cheap Spider-Man outfit and go around South Dallas and just giving out toys to random kids, and it kind of blew up. And then last year I decided to buy a really nice custom Spider-Man outfit. My fiance got a Spider-Girl outfit, and we had a few other superheroes helping us pass out
And
toys.
you actually got some news. I mean, you were on the traditional television.
Yeah,
stations.
it got picked up. It blew up. It was cool.
Yeah, so this year, same thing?
Yeah, we're going to do it again, and that's how we're spending our Christmas morning.
So
And I'm bringing this shirt and going as the Hulk. So the kids are gonna have a very special
Right.
time.
So how do you choose where you're going to go?
It's just random. We just drive around through South Dallas, and pretty much.
What's
that
the kids'
whole-
response? Are they like oh my god, or is there just
Oh, it's they're freaking out, jumping up and down with joy. There's
Do you
a
have
lot
anything-
of kids.
Don't you have stuff you can show us?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. You wanna see it?
Yeah, and by the way, not just South Dallas. That's where Jansen goes. We know that there's a lot of areas in the Metroplex that where kids are needy and stuff. But no matter what, because if people say anything about this, it's still a fantastic thing that Jansen does, because you're taking time out of your Christmas day to give somebody else
Yeah, he's
the
taking-
opportunity.
I mean, putting a smile on a person's
Yeah.
face, and
So it's all seriously, man. It's all good
Well,
stuff
thank
that you're
you.
doing. So
you're a saint?
you
Okay,
are.
let's see. Show us.
So these are some of the.
Uh-oh.
What is this? Is this Mariah Carey? Oh my!
What the? Well,
Is that you and Kat? Oh my goodness! Jansen,
I'm so sorry. I don't know how
I
that
think you
that
and
got
Kat-
mixed up in there.
you and Kat's home videos, unfortunately.
I'm so sorry. That was the wrong video. Obviously,
Homecoming
hold on. Let
indeed.
me.
Here's Jansen's real video.
Personal touch. That's his love language.
yes.
That's Kat.
Toys for y'all.
Very welcome.
Mama got toys for us. That's for you.
Multiple gifts. Bless them, Lord.
There you go.
Yeah.
So great.
So we got tons of videos. I mean, we do it all day long. There's kids that we truly save the day for, because without us, they wouldn't
Have a
get stuff.
Christmas,
Yeah.
right.
So we really
You're
come
awesome.
through.
We have Spider-Man toys for you.
I see that.
We have more coming, but this is just a start because we want to support you.
Well,
and
and if any of our
Yeah.
listeners, if they want to drop off, it's verifiable. I mean, we know that
Yeah.
Jansen is going out and doing these things. So Jansen, if somebody wanted to drop off anything, or Melissa, where could they do that? Because we don't really have an official drop-off place for you
Yeah.
guys.
how about just message us and we'll let you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just message me on my Facebook.
Melissa's house.
Right.
Yeah.
Message us on
Beverly in
Facebook.
Highland Park.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll come pick them up. You don't have to drop
Oh,
them off.
okay.
I'll
we'll
come,
pick it- well,
I'll come
yes.
to you.
Yeah. Very
I also have a GoFundMe, so if anyone wants to donate to the GoFundMe, that's on my Facebook, Jedi Jansen. So just go there and check it out.
Because maybe you can give some gift cards out and people could buy groceries or something with it.
Yeah, well, no, I want to get a little money just so I can buy some stuff for some older kids, because we have a lot of stuff for young kids. But if we end up going to a place and there's like a 13 or 14-year-old, I don't know,
Yeah.
we'll get some footballs, basketball, stuff like that. So
sweet.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, very
Thanks,
good.
Jansen.
All
Wow.
right.
I want to hug you, but it's inappropriate now.
It is very upsetting.
No,
so
no,
offended.
never, not from you.
I'm offended. Hey, where's
So we have
where's the big guy?
We have a segment that's called "What Would Jagger Do?" And so Jagger.
I'm getting him.
Oh,
on
we're
now.
we're
Yeah, sorry.
patching Jagger in right now. Very good. So we actually have what it is we asked Jagger a question, and based on that question, we want to know what Jagger would do. And this week we have a doozy. We missed Jagger last week because he was a little bit under the weather, but we're very happy to have Jagger in right now. Hello, Jagger.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, any of those Santa Ana winds hitting Oregon?
No, they're all in the studio.
Dear God.
One big windbag.
Oh, come on. I got to
thank
set
you.
everything up, you Always got to come at me. I don't know
Hurricane
what the deal
Mondo.
is. It is very
And I'm
upsetting.
Puerto Rico.
He is. Well, I was just trying to be nice, asking how you were doing.
Hey, can I ask who put the ornaments in the bowl?
Oh no, we're not playing this game. We're
No,
not.
no. Hold on a minute.
No.
Santa did, Jagger. He came by this morning.
Why do you care?
No, I don't want to. So can we move
No,
on?
no, Melissa. I want him to.
Oh, God.
Why do you care who put the ornaments in the bowls? First of all,
he doesn't like it.
Well, no, just two clear glass bowls, one other odd bowl.
Right.
It's just
okay.
It's like random.
Now, see, it affects you, but
if you're gonna do set designs, that's certainly not the way you go about
Well,
it.
here's the
It's
thing.
like we're getting trolled by Home and Garden magazine.
I mean, I'm telling you.
You
Thank
know what?
God we didn't have the yellow pad on the table.
We had messages from viewers who loved it. We actually had candy canes up here, and they said, "Where are the candy canes?"
We
They were
moved the
very
candy
excited,
canes.
but we took them off because of you, and I was against it. I think it would have added in set design, and I would have loved it. But no, we had to cater
No,
to
it's
you.
like, no, look, wait. Because you tune into like Sports Center or the Today Show or Good Morning America during the holidays. They've got poinsettia plants.
Oh my
They're well
God. Okay,
staged.
really?
You got 3 bowls of random ornaments with 3 random bowls. And
Well, give us the Today Show budget. Look what we can do. Glenn,
Yeah.
This is $9 in a drunken hangover.
Yeah, and a chrysanthemum.
It looks like you went to the dollar store.
It's not the dollar store.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Very good. All right. Well, then, how about this? And I want to switch the question up, but I won't. What would Jagger do? Because we're running short on time.
My God.
If Jagger committed murder and set up one of us as the person who committed the crime in studio of the 4 of us, me, Dean, Melissa, or Jansen, who would you pick?
Who would you set up to take the fall?
We all think we know the answer. He doesn't understand the question.
I'm so confused.
All right. You killed somebody, but it's not Mondo.
Okay.
But the way the crime is committed is any 4 of us could be blamed for the crime. So you, of course, don't want to go to jail
You're going to set someone
Wouldn't
up.
it
and be doing the laundry room scene.
Wouldn't it be easier if I just killed one of you?
Yeah, well, we know who that would be, though.
Right. And if it couldn't be if it couldn't be Mondo, who would it be?
That makes it harder.
Yeah, if you had to kill Jedi, me, or Melissa,
Yeah,
who
that
would
makes
you
it
kill?
harder.
No, Jedi's too sweet. Dean, you'll probably off yourself one day, so why bother?
Oh my God! Don't even say you would kill me.
That's your.
You
that-
need
I have a
me.
good. Well, listen, we have a great business partner insurance policy, so I'd have to take out Melissa.
Nice.
I'm gonna. You don't
All
even
right.
know who the beneficiary is. Oh my God.
Oh,
my
okay.
goodness, very
He's
upset.
like, I just need an endowment for the girls.
That's all. Yes. Of course.
Nice.
But if I killed somebody and I had to set up one of you as the fall guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Meaning we go to jail for your sins and suffer, and we'd be doing the laundry room scene from Shawshank.
Who would it be? Who would you pick?
I would love to see Mondo and Shawshank.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. The Queens.
Yeah, there's your,
Oh,
there's
come
your answer.
on.
There you go.
I'd own it. I'd be Mr. Shawshank. All right, very good. Well,
See, I thought
the
you
shower
picked-
scene, you do like the wet areas in the gym.
Yeah, that's true.
You do?
well, look.
Are you that guy that walks around
No,
with a towel
I'm-
around your neck?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
yeah, I
no
do that. I
towel.
do that, but I like going to the hot tub and to the steam room.
Hold on. Wait. Fully naked. You go from
Yeah.
one place to the next?
Yeah.
With all that stuff going
all
on?
the hands on his hips.
Yeah, hands on my hips,
That's-
owning it.
All over the place.
That's
It's like
so-
an obscene ping pong game. Just bing, 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 bing.
What's there? What's the big?
I just don't. It's gross.
No, it's great. I like getting the sweat on and then getting in the beautiful hot tub. They got a TV in there with Sports Center on and
But
with
with
the other guys.
other guys?
Yeah, there's other guys. We're all naked. We're watching Sports Center. Fantastic. You ought to
Oh,
try
yeah.
it once.
Ugh.
Come on, Jagger. Come on back. Jagger's in Oregon, by the way. I hope
See
you
you in a
get
minute.
burned up the way you treat me, even though it's in
Okay.
California. All right, very good. We'll catch you next week.
Happy holidays.
You too.
Happy holidays.
Bye. All right, yeah, this is the Oddcast podcast. We'll catch you next week.
I'm going to get so much shit.
No, he won't. All right, hey, seriously. All right, thanks for joining us again. Go to the Oddcast podcast page. Help out Jansen if you can, and we will catch you next week as Dean pulls out the ornaments. And
say pull out?
Oh, we have a great game for you to watch, the
Yeah.
Candy Cane game. We'll show it to you next week. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you.
Bye.
Bye.